let me go back to the Jimmer Fredette story as he bows out of the tournament. I like how you're getting broadcasters and columnists who are now saying that Jimmer is overrated. I like this one. People at the mothership ripping Jimmer Fredette. Rick Reilly writing an article about him being overcovered. Colin Cowherd that he's overcovered. Media creation. I think you got to start calling out your own network first. You guys create more media sensation than anybody. So why don't you fire away at your own place and then say, you guys helped create the Jimmer Fredette phenomenon. And those who don't think that it's going to translate into the pros, you're not understanding what the story is. The story is now, today. Rick Reilly, and I'll go into this a little bit deeper. Rick Reilly says that Fredette and his teammates who look like pizza delivery guys. So they took Florida into overtime. Fredette didn't play well. They took Florida into overtime. Imagine if Fredette had won, beat Florida. Is he still overcovered, overrated? What? And write it 2 weeks ago, Rick. Not now. You want to write that Kemba Walker's overrated? Was he overrated, say, I don't know, a month ago when they had lost 3 or 4 in a row at the end of the season? And stop thinking of NBA prospects. Jimmer Fredette is not the next Pete Maravich. He's not. Who said that, by the way? Give me a scout who said he's the next Pete Maravich. Or media person. Name the person who thinks he's the next Pete Maravich. Not they said. Give me somebody who really has value. Their opinion means something. He's not Pete Maravich. There will never be another Pete Maravich. But to say that he's overcovered? Yes, he's overcovered. So is Tim Tebow. But you can't take away what Tebow did in college, even if he doesn't do anything in the pros. You're losing sight of a great story because you want to advance it. Oh, well, what's he going to be in the pros? I have no idea. I've seen guys who were average in college who were great in the pros, and the other way around. What he did was sensational. Was he overcovered? Yes. Did the color of his skin play in? Yes. Did his name play in? Yes, yes, yes. The school, all of it. But don't lose sight of what it's like to go out on the floor every single night when somebody knows you have to get at least 30. Oh, he doesn't play defense. Yeah, I know. Rick, that's probably the first time you saw him. He doesn't play defense. If you watch the conference tournament, San Diego State took advantage of that. They do not play defense. He did not want to get into foul trouble. Yes, he did take 30 shots. He didn't have a good night. Ask Billy Donovan, who played. Ask Billy Donovan, who coached against Fredette. Ask Steve Fisher, who was at the had the Fab Five. Ask those coaches what they think of Jimmer Fredette. Ask Steve Alford, who coached against him. Ask these guys who coached against him. Oh, it's not going to translate to the pros. You know, is he like Steve Nash? What? If you watch how he plays, watch what he does, he was a great college player. Rick Mount, one of the greatest college players I ever saw. Didn't translate into the pros. One of the greatest shooters. But he's still one of the greatest college players of all time. It's like we're upset. This guy's overcovered and he's getting too much. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Look at that vertical. Rick Reilly also says that Jimmer Fredette, he says, let's see, YMCA hops. I don't know if Rick understands, unless he's saying some guy who's got great hops at the YMCA but can't do anything. You know, if you're going to cut and paste the white guy reference, at least be accurate. His vertical is 36. Ask anybody who's played the game. You give me a 36-inch vertical, I'll take my chances. That's not YMCA hops. So if you're going to cut and paste white guy reference, at least be accurate, at least be truthful, and don't be contrarian just so people read your column. Or Colin Cowherd, oh, he's 10% talent, 90% media creation. Look at your own network you created. And now you're going to take shots at him? He's a great college basketball player. Whether he is good in the pros, you missed the point.